Welcome back. So today we're gonna talk about a different topic. We're gonna talk about type conversion. So let's say, for example, many of you try to do this, I guess, print, let's say, my name is, like we used in the first one, in the second video, I guess. Let's say your name is Tom, for example. Oh, sorry, I'm doing Tom, and you wanted to print a integer. So there is two different way. I showed you last time only the if strings. Yes, you can use the if strings, but sometimes we can use other way to print two different things. We can use the plus. It's same. Let's check here. Let's say we don't want to use Tom here, but my name is, let's say, Tom. Sorry, Tom. Look, we get my name is Tom in one string, but notice we don't have a space here. So what we usually do is we can add space here, or we can add a space here. It's the same thing, look. Or we can add another, like another variable, like here. Not variable, but another piece of code, and we add like literally a space here. And yes, it's the same result. But many of you try to do this. This is why I'm doing this video about type conversion. If you try to print like my name is, or not my name, my age is plus, like we say, sorry, I'm not 6 years old. If you try to print 19, we're gonna get an error. And this error said can only can sorry, my English, I cannot pronounce this, string, not integer to string. So what does this means? We cannot print two different types. So I have here the first one is an integer, and the second one, the first one is a string, and the second one is an integer. And I cannot print two different types in the same print function. To check the types, we can do this print. Sorry, let's get rid of this print, and I'm gonna introduce a new function. It's called type. And then I can add my age is. So when I print this, it gets this weird class, and this is what we care for, string. So it's saying that my age is a string. Okay, good to know. And if we try to print 19, look what we get. So we get 19 is integer. So we cannot print something like this. We're gonna get an error, like we did in the first one. So what we do, we convert the types of the type of integer to a string, so we can combine them together. We use this using a str, like we saw in the second video, str. So what str does, it takes an integer and or a float. You can take many different things, like you can also take boolean value like true, and return it as a string. So now when we do 19, look, we don't get any error. If we want to get the space between these two, we can add another plus and single quotes, and there is no errors. We can check this using our type function and say str. So in the beginning, just remember, the type was integer. Now when we added the string around 19, we get the class, the type is now string. So this is very important. It is called type conversion. So we can convert type from one type to another. So it can I cannot pronounce that word. So you get the idea. To print two different types, you need first to convert them to the same type. This is very important. If we try, for example, to convert a string to an integer, because like here we have this problem, we have two different types, we need to convert to the same type. We converted them to string. Many of you will say, well, why we do not convert a string to an integer? Because we cannot do that in Python. If we try to do int, because int is the equivalent of str. So when we did str, sorry when we did str19, we converted 19 to a string. Now if we try to convert to an integer and we say my name is, we get an error, invalid literal for int with base 10. So this means that we cannot convert a string to a number. This was very important to know, and it's very useful. So I hope you learned a new thing today, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.